woman has been cured of HIV after a stem cell transplant. The middle-aged woman, known as the New York patient, has been clear of detectable HIV since 2017 after she received HIV-resistant stem cells that had been harvested from umbilical cord blood to treat her leukemia. Stem cells are produced by bone marrow and can turn into different types of blood cells. Only a handful of cases have been cured of HIV. These include 2 men in Germany, 1 in London, and 1 case of long-term remission in a man treated in Los Angeles. All had received stem cells from adult donors who carried 2 copies of a naturally occurring mutation of the CCR5 gene. This gene mutation prevents the virus from entering and infecting healthy cells. With any stem cell transplant, recipients can only receive donations from people with matching tissue types to reduce the risk that their immune system will attack the transplanted tissue. Since tissue types are inherited, a person's ethnicity can influence their ability to find a match. To overcome the lack of suitable adult donors, doctors carried out a study where they infused umbilical cord blood into the New York patient. Stem cells from umbilical cord blood are both more readily available and do not need to be matched as closely as adult cells do. This helps people of all racial backgrounds to be cured of HIV. While the treatment is a game changer for people who already need a transplant, researchers stressed that stem cell transplants are not a realistic cure for HIV on their own. The procedure is risky, highly invasive in nature, and may have brutal side effects. The acid in your stomach is strong enough to dissolve metal. Just a drop of this stomach acid on your palm can melt your muscles. Your stomach produces a very strong acid known as hydrochloric acid, or HCl. The stomach secretes roughly 2 liters of HCl each day. HCl, along with digestive enzymes and other chemicals in the stomach, form what's called gastric juice. This gastric juice is very important for absorbing nutrients from the food you eat. HCl kills bacteria and viruses that may come along with your food and drink, which protects you from various infections and diseases. It also activates stomach enzymes that digest proteins in your food. HCl also maintains the stomach pH for the function of these enzymes. Surprisingly, this strong acid does not harm your stomach itself. It is because your stomach has a lining of mucus-secreting cells that coats the inside of the stomach, which protects your stomach from acid. Sometimes gastric juice can leak up into the esophagus, which lacks the protective mucus layer, causing a burning feeling known as heartburn. A deadly strain of the bird flu virus is spreading to mammals. The viral strain, called H5N1, has already been confirmed in foxes, otters, seals, and recently in a Spanish mink farm. H5N1 is an influenza A virus that mainly infects birds. It naturally circulates in wild waterfowl, usually without causing any symptoms. But when it spreads into poultry, some subtypes of the virus can evolve into highly infectious and deadly forms. A massive outbreak of bird flu is taking place around the world. The U.S. is experiencing the worst avian flu outbreak in history, with the virus directly or indirectly leading to 58 million bird deaths in the past year. Europe is also experiencing its most severe outbreak. Recently, there have been reports of the H5N1 virus infecting mammals, including foxes, otters, and seals. However, the most worrying outbreak was reported in a Spanish mink farm, where over 50,000 mink had to be euthanized due to H5N1 infection. The virus appears to have acquired several changes in its genes, which may help it grow better in mammals. The fact that it has jumped from birds to mammals is concerning. Scientists are investigating how the virus adapts to infect these new hosts, and whether it could eventually jump to humans. Bird flu has infected humans in the past, mostly people who work directly with diseased poultry. According to the World Health Organization, there have been 868 cases of human infection with H5N1 between January 2003 to November 2022. But there has never been widespread human-to-human transmission of the virus. If there were, it could be a catastrophe since the virus has a 50% mortality rate in humans. To prepare for any potential mutation in the virus, surveillance and vaccination efforts are crucial. Testing for the virus and sequencing samples from animals and humans at high risk of exposure can help in designing more effective vaccines and treatments.